All right, we're starting off laying down so that we can allow the whole back body to really just soften and ease onto the floor. And you might bend your knees into a little tent or a diamond shape, dropping the knees out, whatever suits your lower body. And then perhaps if you've been working at a computer a lot today, you've been doing a lot of things hunching forward like most of the humans have today, then maybe scoot your shoulder blades a bit underneath you and put a slight bend in your elbows. Try that. Our main objective here in this very grounded, very easy posture is just to breathe. So let go of all expectations of yourself here, except just to breathe. With the front of the body free, you can really feel the expansion on the front body on your inhales. And with your exhales, you can feel the front body compress inward and even draw downward toward the floor a little bit. Feel the sides of your body too opening up on the inhale. From the armpits down to your hips. And contracting inward on the exhale. Notice the back of your torso, your rib cage, shoulder blades, low back. Expanding on the inhale toward the floor. Compressing on the exhale away from the floor. Continue to find that long, slow, complete breath. Notice your jaw relaxing more and more with each round of breath. Notice your eyebrows drifting farther and farther apart from each other. And all tension melts away as you allow yourself to be very present with the sensations of this moment. Whatever is real in this moment. Having observed the breath for quite a while in the body, allow your awareness to travel outward from your torso and your breathing parts to your arms and legs, hips and shoulders. Notice how everything feels. And then shift your awareness to your mind. Watch your thoughts and emotions. Observe with amusement, without trying to change or label anything that you observe. For your next few breaths, take in as much air as you can hold on the inhale. Maybe pause up top to sip in a little more. And on your exhale, press to the bottom of the exhale. Maybe pause to squeeze out a little more. Maybe take 2 or 3 more rounds like that if you enjoyed it, okay? Kind of finding the limit of your breath. taking in that new fresh potential on the inhale, clean air. And on the exhale, completely clean out your lungs. And then allow your breath to turn to normal, but keep it long and deep. And we'll start to move a little bit more. So move your hands out a little bit away from you if they were close. And we'll shimmy our feet out away from each other. So we need a little bend in the knees so that they point up. The feet are out. Maybe if you have a yoga mat, you take them all the way off your mat. And we'll start to drop the knees to one side and then the other. So a very simple, very gentle twist. And by the way, I do my best to lead these practices so that you don't even really have to look at me. My words aspire to be explicit enough. So I invite you to practice with your eyes closed as often as you like. That's great, okay? Just using your other senses to move is really exciting and pleasant. So maybe this was a very passive thing, you just letting your knees fall toward the ground. Maybe you'd like to keep it passive, or maybe you'd like to activate it by actively moving the knees downward when they get close to the floor. Notice how your inner and outer hip feel when you do that. All right. Next time your knees drop over to the right, let's pause right there. So knees drop to the right, pause. And we'll take the left hand and put it on top of the right hand and stack the left knee on top of the right knee. So you're looking out to the side, okay? And let's pause here for a moment. I call this a sandwich shape so that we can really stack everything up very intentionally, like a little sandwich. So stack your left knee on top of right, left ankle on top of right, hips, shoulders, hands, all very stacked. Something that is very tempting here when we're laying down on our sides like this is to let the right side body sink down toward the floor. Do the opposite. Pull your left hip away from your left shoulder and lift the right side body away from the floor so that you could slide your left hand all the way under if you needed to. Okay, go ahead and check. I call that a mouse hole. Could you keep the mouse hole, please, and make a long neck? Ready to move? We'll twist. Let's take the left fingers to the floor, just above your right hand. And we'll sweep a big half circle over your head on the floor with your left fingertips. You can think of inhaling as you open up completely to look out to the left. As you exhale, swim yourself back the way you came. So come back the same way you came, meeting that right hand. Okay, maybe you watched me do it one time and you can just close your eyes now and do it. Inhaling, open up. Exhaling, close it back up. So while you do this, let's think about the long spine, please. Always we want a long spine when we twist. So we're actively moving head and tailbone away from each other. And we're also focused on that big chest. So we're actively expanding into the left side of the chest as we open up to that side. Okay, next time you open up to the left, let's just hold and enjoy the twist for a little while. So come on out there, pause and breathe. Maybe the right hand grabs a knee. Who knows, that might work well. Lengthen the spine. Let's press the left shoulder blade into the floor and take 3 or 4 more long, slow breaths here. Remember, long spine inhale, Belly button to spine, exhale. Big chest, inhale. Grounded shoulder blades, exhale. Use your biggest breath. Maybe one more breath. All right. Allow your legs to roll through center. And we'll just drop the knees to the other side. And we'll do the other side straight away. So go ahead and drop your knees to the left. And take your arms out to the left. So we're inhaling, drawing that half circle overhead with the right hand. Looking out to the right with your big open chest. And with your exhale, you're bringing it back around. Just like we did before on the other side. Okay, remember your long neck in your sandwich shape. And your mouse hole on the left side. Keep that left side mouse hole. Let's do one more and then hold it out there, okay? Inhale to open up your big twist and let's hold here. Maybe the left hand grabs a knee. Let's really get the right shoulder blade onto the floor and just breathe here. Long spine, heavy shoulder blades, strong belly moves in on the exhales. Okay, by constantly encouraging you to move the belly button inward, I'm asking you to strengthen the transversus abdominis. It's a strip of muscle that runs around your middle. And that is one of your keys to having a happy low back, good posture, good digestion. Okay, we really want to cultivate that low back support strength. So as you're ready, move the knees back into center. Let's get the legs up in the air. Okay, just get them up there. Circle the ankles out. All right, and then we'll plant the feet firmly by the hips. You can flip your palms down so that they're pressing down by your hips too. And you'll feel a little extra push against the floor as you lift your hips toward the ceiling. So think of using not just your lower body to do this, but also your upper body. And we'll bring the hips back down. So let's keep doing this. Let's take a few more breaths. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Okay, as you lift and lower, let's think about a few things. So I'll just give you some cues. You can just close your eyes and listen to my words. Let's start with your feet. As you move, could you keep your feet attempting to drag towards your shoulder blades? Do you feel your hamstrings turn on when you do that? Keep some engagement there. It doesn't have to be 100% of your effort. Maybe just 5. Just give it a little engagement. Okay, could you keep an imaginary tennis ball between your knees? So put that imaginary tennis ball there. Hold it tight as you move. Notice how that engages your core all the way up to your belly button. And then next time your hips are up, let's hold and breathe. Hold and breathe. Move your chin away from your chest so that there's at least a grapefruit of space between your chin and chest. And could we maybe wiggle the elbows inward and bend your elbows. Reach your fingers up like robot arms. Keep breathing. We're just warming the back of your body a little bit as we get a great opening for the front of your body. Shoulders pressing down, opening up your chest. Hips pressing up, opening up your hip flexors and your abdominals. Okay, check it out. Before you come down, here's the plan. Could you roll your spine down one vertebra at a time? constantly moving your tailbone away from the top of your head, and maybe 1 second per vertebra. That's how slow it is. Come on down. All right. When your tailbone finally uncurls, we'll pause here and take the right knee up and in. If you interlace your fingers around the thigh, you can pull the knee in towards your chest. And you'll start to feel, hopefully, a pleasant opening or sensation of intensity in your right hip crease. So let's take a moment here. Decide how you feel about this. Do you want more, or is this enough? If you're feeling great, press your shoulder blades into the floor. Really press them down. If you want a little more, take your fingers interlaced around your shin. And think of moving the knee toward your heart. And then take the knee away from your heart over to your armpit. We'll take it a little bit deeper here. Maybe employing a forearm around the shin or around the thigh is also great. Think of moving that knee into the armpit. Ground your shoulder blades. And then go ahead and release that leg. And then take your hands behind the thigh if you had the shin. We're going to press the heel up to the ceiling and then pull the heel in toward the glute. Again, press it up and pull it in. Again, up. One more time. Press it up and hold here. So feeling your hamstring opening up underneath your hands. So decide how much you want here. We're all going to be a little different. If you have quite enough, just hang out right here. If you'd like to let your calf open up a little bit, put a really nice flex in your right ankle and push the heel up toward the ceiling. Hold and breathe. If you're feeling great here, move the knee a little bit closer to your chest. Possibly walk your hands up to your calf, but only if that feels nice. Right, let the hamstring tell you what's appropriate here. Once you're ready, let go of that leg. You can put the right foot back on the floor. And maybe windshield wiper the legs a little bit. All right, next time the knees point up, we'll pause and bring the left knee up and in. Start to open up this left hip and hamstring. So hands behind the thigh are good. Hands on the shin are also good, you decide. But either way, shoulder blades on the ground, please. And breathe, moving the knee towards your heart. Move the knee away from your heart now. Move the left knee towards your left armpit. Maybe get your forearms in there, but keep those shoulder blades down. All right, let's soften up on this. Take your hands behind the thigh and let's get to the hamstring. Pressing the heel up to the ceiling at first and then pulling it back in. Heel up, heel down, up, and down. And the next time it's up, let's hold up here. Hold and breathe. Decide how much hamstring you want in your life right now. This might be quite enough. Ground the shoulder blades and make sure it's pleasant. You can kick it up a little bit by flexing the foot and pushing through the heel more, and or walking your hands up to the shin or to the calf. As you're ready, friends, let that go. You can drop that foot back on the floor and take a few side to side windshield wipers. And as you're ready, tuck your hands behind your knees and we'll rock it up to a seat. So come on up. And find your comfiest seat, just whatever works for you. Okay? You can just pull one heel in close to your hips. If you don't have any preferred seat, pull one heel in and then just tuck the other heel in next to it. Okay? Allow your spine to rise up nice and tall. Close your eyes here. Maybe a little smile. And find equal weight in your sitting bones. And become very aware of the bowl-shaped pelvis that you live with, okay? If you rock your tailbone underneath yourself a little bit to point forward and your belly button pulls backward, then it feels maybe a little more neutral in your low back, okay? Experiment with that. And then let's take the arms out to the side. So arms are out long. Think of reaching out through your fingers and then rolling the shoulder blades down your back, but activating the shoulders inward. So maybe retaining a small bend in your elbows as well, just to keep the shoulders plugging in. And let's start to circle out the fingertips. So the center of your circle is your shoulder. So in your mind, maybe eyes are closed, you're drawing perfect circles around your shoulders. Okay, they're getting a little bigger with each revolution, so grow them outward slowly. And bigger. Notice it's a little harder to move them back behind you. That's okay. Just use a little extra effort to move them back, helping to open up the fronts of your chest and shoulders. Bigger with the circles. Bigger, you're bumping your thumbs up top and scraping the floor at the bottom. Okay, let's keep them big and slow. Let's reverse, but push through the palm. Push, 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 push. Let's start to make them smaller with each revolution. Keep pushing through the palm. Keep plugging the shoulder in. Getting smaller. All right, go ahead and rest. Let your arms rest on the floor. And we'll start to twist a little bit more here. So big breath in, all arms up. Exhaling, look to the left. Twist, drop your fingers in front of you and behind you. Back to center, inhale. Exhale, twist and look over your right shoulder. Fingers drop in front, fingers drop behind. Again, center, inhale. Big twist. Take a few more on either side, please. Just at your pace. Okay, kind of feeling your intrinsic twist. So by not holding on to anything or pulling on anything as we twist, we can see what your back, what your spine and core are capable of without any outside help. And next time you have twisted and looked to the left, let's pause there. Hold and breathe. So put a little extra length in the spine, please. We can use our fingertips to actively push down and do that, by the way. So try that. Maybe we want a little bit more. We can deepen the twist by taking the right hand to the left knee and very gently encouraging the left nose, encouraging the left shoulder to roll back. Let's take 3 or 4 long, slow breaths here in this twist. Okay, as you're ready, come through center. Okay, over to the other side. That is right. Let's go. Look to the left, look to the right, and pause. Use your fingertips to your advantage. You can push down and then drag a little bit on the fingertips to look over the right shoulder. Breathe. Remember, your priority with your twist is not the degree of twist, but the length of the spine. Maybe a little more twisty with left hand on right knee. Who knows? 3 or 4 long, slow breaths. One more. All right, bring this back in to center. Okay, from here, take your feet out in front of you and put them together. Okay? And you can put them close to you or far away from you. Just keep in mind that if you put them very close to your hips, there will be more pressure on your knees. So if you have any kind of knee injury, it's better to keep the feet away from you, okay? Or ankle injury, anything like that. So pause here, get your arms up overhead to distract yourself if you like. You also might like fingers on the floor, but I find a little bit of shoulder warmth builds if we have arms up overhead. And press your feet together. Close your eyes. We're going to press the feet together right here and just breathe for a few moments. So it's challenging to put the feet together, but keep doing it anyway. Keep your long spine. Keep your neutral low back rising up. Keep your long neck. Hold and breathe. Keep breathing. Maybe 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Okay, let that go. From here, take your right foot closer to you and your left foot directly in front of your right. Okay? And here's where we'll really start to relax and let the low back and the outer hips open up. This should feel really nice. So you can just rest one hand on each of your ankles. Keep in mind what we're not doing. We're not grabbing and pulling the upper body anywhere. We're just resting the hands lightly. We don't even really need them. Okay? Start to move your heart past your toes. So remember your long spine on your inhales, please. On your exhales, think of moving the heart a millimeter forward. And we'll take several breaths here. You may want your hands eventually to come down to the floor under your shoulders. You may use your elbows to do that. But no matter where you are, your spine is long on your inhales. And your heart moves forward with each exhale. And you may drop your head, but keep a bit of length in your spine, please. As you are ready, walk yourself back up and out of this with your hands. And we'll keep the left foot going on a little journey. So let's take the left foot, pick it up, and put it on top of your right knee. And just kind of stack it on there. You may want to move your right foot forward a little bit so that it ends up directly under your left knee. Okay, so the knees and ankles are stacked. The 2 lower legs are stacked. And we have a nice flex in each ankle. And you're welcome to lean back on your fingertips and just focus on having a long spine here and allowing the legs to just mostly move downward with gravity. Okay, so there's a little activity in them, maybe 5% activity, and gravity is doing the other 95% right now. Maybe you'd like to activate it a little bit, or maybe you just happen to be really open in your hips and your outer hips here. In that case, you might start to move your legs toward each other. So you're activating the two knees, trying to press together, not using our hands, of course, just using the intrinsic leg strength that we have against the floor. Your fingers might walk out past your knees, maybe. Remember your long spine. Inhale. Remember your heart moving forward. Exhale. Let's take some long, slow breath here. Take your time. You may find yourself having fingers in front of you, and then try pressing back into your hips a little bit to really neutralize and open up your low back. Right, take your time walking back up out of this. We're not finished with this little journey yet. We have another step next. So keep the left foot moving over to the right. Just pick it up, move it over to the right. You can just set it on the floor over there. And then shimmy your knees close together. So it helps to put your feet close to your hips at first. So try that. Pull your feet in close by your hips. And then I actually like to sit up, put my knees close together, and then I sit down in between my feet once I've gotten my knees close. And for me, that really helps. Maybe that little trick will help you too. But once you're here, you are in Gomukhasana, or cow face pose. And it's a really great outer hip opener, as I'm sure you can already feel. So if it's too much, you can lean back and just pick up your legs and soften it up. If you like it, you can lean into it. And you can even move your feet away from your hips and line them up with your knees if you want more. So we'll just be here breathing for a little while. Just let the posture do its magic. Feel free to just breathe here. That's enough, just to breathe in this posture. Remember your long spine. If you want something to think about or work with in this posture, you can think about pressing your knees toward each other and lengthening the heart forward over the knees. Perhaps today, or maybe another day, or maybe another lifetime, the fingers come out in front and gently press the hips back to open up the low back even more. Just suggestions, friends. Just take what you like. Leave the rest behind. Breathe into your outer hips, your glutes, your low back. A lot of sensation. Humans carry around so much stuff in our hips and our low back. Let all that go. Okay, one more stop, and then we'll switch sides. I just would like to neutralize things here with a nice little twist. So let's pull both the feet back in toward the hips if they came away. And we'll plant the left foot on the floor by the right thigh. Right arm holds this left leg, looking over your shoulder, left fingers on the floor. Let's take some deep breath. As you're ready, we'll let this go. So go ahead and take both feet out front again. And we'll simply switch sides. So we have the left foot as the close inward foot this time. The right foot is just in front of the left. Okay, just like a butterfly shape, but your feet are offset slightly. And hands can rest on your ankles, elbows wing to the side. Long spine inhales. Heart blasts forward over your toes for the exhale. So remember the spine is long, especially your neck. And we're not really pulling with our hands, we're more supporting the upper body. So try to support yourself, please. Elbows or hands, whatever works. Let your head fall, but keep the neck and spine long. Feel any tension melting out of your back body here. Once you're ready, start to walk your hands back up and in, okay? And let's take the right foot on a little trip this time over to the left knee, beginning to transition into our double pigeon or a stacked logs posture, some people call it. We need to move the left heel forward so it's under the right knee. So knees and heels are stacked, lower legs are stacked, flex your ankles, okay? And then if you need to lean back, just lean back, make it nice and easy with your long spine and your deep breath. And this can be a very relaxed experience of this posture. Okay, if you are very open here and you want to move more deeply, you can keep going on the spectrum by sitting up taller in the center. Maybe beginning to activate your legs toward each other as you lengthen your heart past your legs. Maybe hands come forward and press the hips back more firmly. Find some long breath here. Keep the neck long. Heart is always moving forward. Maybe since it's the second side, the elbows come to the ground, who knows? Walk yourself up out of this. We just have 2 more stops, okay? Let's keep the right foot moving out to the left, heading into a cow face posture. Okay, we can think of scooting our feet in close to the hips here. Get the knees together. You may even pick your hips up. Get the knees together and then sit down into them between your feet, okay? And then, if you want this to be gentle, keep your feet by your hips and lean back on your hands, long spine. If you want to deepen it more, you can sit up straight and tall. Move the feet away from you. You can move them out until they're level with your knees if you want to. I wouldn't go past your knees. And we're just breathing here. Pay attention to the sensations in your hips, your low back. Don't go too far. Maybe experimenting with pressing the knees together. Maybe the hands come forward. Press the hips back. All right, let's finish out with a little twist. So here we go. Walk your hands back up and in. Bring your feet back towards your hips if you move them away. And we'll just pick up this right knee, plant that right foot on the floor outside that left thigh. Left arm holds right leg, and look over your right shoulder. Couple long breaths here. Think of pulling that right knee towards your heart. And then let's bring that back into center. So I'll have us finish off in a comfortable cross-legged posture, whatever that means for you. However, if you'd rather lay it down or do a child's pose, I want you to do that. So find your most comfortable resting posture, please, and close your eyes. Allow your breath to come softly and effortlessly through your nose. Allow your eyes and your tongue to sink back in your head as your jaw and your forehead completely melt and soften and grow slack. Notice all the sensations that your practice stirred up in your tissues. And watch your thoughts with amusement, like beautiful clouds. Friends, please keep resting like this for as long as you can. If you can take a nap, I highly recommend doing that. Thank you so much for joining me.